What's up, everyone? Back for another episode. Today's episode, we're going to be talking sports shit. A lot has happened. Sports are finally back. Brings a pretty interesting shit going on. I got Nagy and Alina with us. Big night for Nagy.
Shut up.
What? So Nagy has some fun tonight, but let's get into it, boys. As always, this episode is brought to you by Save Our Livers. Go to saveourlivers.com, buy a victory kit. If you don't want to buy a victory kit, buy anything in store. Get a beer bong, get some shit like that. Support the pod. Use code VictoryLap for 10% off. All right, let's get into it. So, the other day, I think it was actually like last week, but they just kind of posted it. Celina Powell, chick who like is just fucking crazy, tries to fuck like every rapper in the world, expose Snoop Dogg, all this different shit. Her and her friend went on No Jumper podcast with Adam 22, and her friend started talking about how she sucked off 7 basketball players from the same team in one night. It wasn't even like one night. It was just back to back to back to like whenever the one guy finished, the next one went through. I mean, this is just like the way she said it though, it's almost like she's like, yeah, this happens a lot. Like, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't like she said it so just casually. It was so fucking weird, but it was funny as shit. And then after it all went viral, it came out that it was the Phoenix Suns basketball team. They just went 8-0 in the bubble. I'm sure their team was feeling great. Their marketing team was like, why are we trending right now? Oh, yeah, we just went 8-0 in the bubble. Oh, wait, no, it's not. This chick sucked off over half of our team.
When did they go to the bubble?
They said this was pre-COVID.
No. Wait, pre-COVID?
Yeah.
I thought you said it was this year though, right?
It was this year, but it was pre-COVID. Yeah.
No, it was. She said her birthday is Memorial Day weekend. No.
Did she?
That's like the end of May.
Well, they wouldn't have been in the bubble then.
No, not in the bubble, but that's
So they were team practice though. I'm pretty sure they started practice like at the facility then.
Yeah, it's funny.
So I guess that's kind of wild though. Like they were preparing for the bubble and they're just letting this thought top them all off and she also said that she was fucking one of the people who worked for the team.
Yeah.
In the hotel room, and they all came in and watched, and then they all watched each one happen. Like it's so wild. And then
I bet you after the dudes were done, that's when they just started filing out of the room. Like, and then it was
right. Yeah. Well, then like Adam asked the question. He was like, "Who was first?" Because I would 100% want to be first. And she's like, "Why? You're still getting your nut." It's like, no, bitch. I want to be the first one done, and I'm out of there. Like,
yeah.
Fuck. But she also said though, which I thought was funny. He was asking her like what she did, and she said something like, "I'm an accountant" or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And then it comes out that actually her family owns an accounting firm and she works at that accounting firm. And she was like, because he was like, aren't you afraid of losing your job? And she's like, no, not at all. And then it comes out that she lost her job. Her dad was her boss. Her family is completely not okay with any of this. And now she's got a fucking OnlyFans.
Yeah. Like what a joke. She just lost her family disowns her, and
yeah.
So now, I mean, she was already it seems like she was already committed to that life anyway, so she probably doesn't
if you're sucking off 7 players, you're a thought. You're living the thought life.
Yeah.
Nagy, what are your thoughts of this situation?
I mean, I didn't know about the job thing. I didn't know about that part. If she wasn't working for her family, maybe she had a better job, chance of keeping her job. But
I disagree. I think if you work for your family, it's almost like Because like if a random person sees that and they're your boss, they'd be like, "What the fuck? Why are you talking about this online? I'm firing you in a second." But
Oh,
obviously, if you have a cool family, you have a way better chance. But I mean,
right. I would just assume like a lot of families would be harder than like your boss on like your sex life, I guess.
I don't think many bosses would want
But
to
like
have
the
someone.
the actual thing itself, like I mean, those dudes are super close together now, I guess, and that's why they played super well in the bubble. I
You
mean,
think I was about to say you think this is the read? They had a bonding moment.
some kind of blood brother
We're
moment.
not giving this fucking random Instagram bitch all that fucking credit. Hell no.
I'm not saying it was her. I'm just saying like
Oh,
no one on like any other Big Four professional team could probably say like multiple team members were like watching
Yeah.
each other like good enough.
You don't think that's a common occurrence?
Not
oh,
like that many guys. Not
I don't
like
know about 7, but this is
that's like
common.
that's like
This is
40%
common.
of the roster for a basketball team.
Oh, I bet you could find one girl for every team, and she's probably hooked up with 5 or 6 of the guys.
I mean, like at the same, like it sounded like it was like at the same time, like they're
You had
all.
all 7 cocks in her mouth at once.
No, it was like a one cock,
One
done, one cock, done.
One
Yeah,
cock.
but they do the same thing with like I'm sure girls come to the hotel and it's like dude fucks done, dude fucks
right
done.
run through.
They might give them the courtesy of like waiting in the other room till they're ready to.
Yeah, but like I mean, no, this definitely happened. Maybe not 7, but
He goes, like he asked something like, she see, or I guess like someone was brought up like, is she nervous? She goes, well, she can't be that nervous. She just admitted to sucking 7 dicks back.
yeah, yeah. But it's like wild though. Is like also like I'm sure this happens all the time. Like this is the only bitch who just actually went out and said something
Yeah.
about it. Like most chicks
And
probably.
she made like $22,000 in her OnlyFans in one day, and like
Yeah, and she
if
gained like
that momentum doesn't keep up, then
I think she gained like 40,000 Instagram followers the next day.
yeah, I think she is no regrets by her at all. I would say, if I had to take a guess.
It didn't seem like it. She says she
Not-
loves fucking NBA players, so like this is a norm. She also said that she doesn't like fucking rappers because she thinks they're all gay, which was like a wild thing to hear. But yeah, I don't know. It was just fucking hilarious to like look at. Like I heard someone they were talking. I think it might have been part of my take, but they were like, oh yeah, we just went 8-0 in the bubble. Like, top of the, we're high. Suns haven't been good in a while. Blah blah blah. And then it's like, why are we trending on Twitter? Did like Devin Booker highlight pop up? And it's like, no, this chick just said she sucked 7 of your players off and fucked one of your staff members, or I don't know if it's
I
staff, but
wonder if the staff member's like easily identifiable.
that's what I'm saying. Like, is it a staff member? Does he work for the team? Like, whoever it is, though, are they like, holy fuck, these players aren't losing their jobs, but I could, like, you know what I mean? Like, so also I would want like, who was it? Is Devin Booker fucking just throwing Kendall Jenner to the side and getting sucked off by a girl getting ran through the team? Who went last also would be like, I would love to know. Also, could you just like sign up? Like, could you just like, like
just on the outside of the hotel room.
in like the team group message, was it just like anyone who wants to come can come, and like you just walk in? Like,
Yeah. I mean, I don't. If 7 ended up being the actual number, I don't see what 3, 4 more would do any harm.
that's my point. Yeah. He also asked a question which I thought was hilarious. He was like, "Did you feel sick? Like, where?" Because he said, "Where'd the cum go?" And she said, "I swallowed." And he goes, "Did you feel okay?" Because like it was remember when we were little, Lil Kim like had to get her stomach pumped because she's like swallowing too much cum in like a month span. Like it was like one of the wildest.
That is
stories
like
ever.
disgusting.
Yeah, think of it. This is just the wildest story ever. So I don't know. That's we can move on from that one. All right. So now, obviously, the Big Ten canceled. Big Ten went 90 different ways. Their commissioner has been pretty vague about everything. a lot of people want answers. He's not really answering a lot of questions. I thought he had, after he announced the thing, he went on Big Ten Network and got interviewed. Thought it was one of the worst interviews I've ever seen. Like, he just didn't answer anyone's really question of, why this, why that, and people are now saying, like, was there a vote, yes or no? Then people are saying there was, and other people are saying there wasn't. It just is a fucking mess. And Nebraska sounded like they were going to go full blown, like, look, can we go to the Big 12? Can we do this? Big Ten commissioner said, we'll kick you out of the league if you do this. So then they came back and was like, okay, we're not going to do this. Now, Ohio State, like, their parents have wrote letters. Their parents are supposedly protesting Friday at the Big Ten office. Justin Fields had the whole sign the petition thing. And then they have, like, I think they're trying to do like almost like a 6-team mini Big Ten of Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, Wisconsin, Nebraska, and Iowa. Play every team a home and home, and play start. I think it was like the week after the SEC. I mean, just fucking wild. What are your guys' thoughts on all of this shit?
The parents petitioning and like the signing the petitions, like, that'll fucking do anything. Like, I don't, like, it's just a waste of fucking time. Those, like, nothing will change unless like, they're not gonna like co-sign the 16. Like, it's either an all anything or nothing. Like, there's no point to go half and half. Like, they'll be doing that against the Big Ten's will how I'm interpreting it.
Oh, if they try to do this 6-team little mini thing, this is 100% going. The Big Ten will not approve any of this.
Yeah, so it's either, I mean, like, signing a petition and acting like that's going to do a damn thing is just, like, do people actually think that? I just don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know, because it's not like one of those things like this needs 10,000 and then it gets approved by.
Like, it doesn't.
Like,
everybody was well aware that no one wanted the season to be canceled before they wanted to cancel it. So, yeah, let's just sign a petition repeating ourselves that we don't want the season canceled.
yeah.
I don't. It happens, to be honest, but hopefully.
So they, like, here's a few things. I think like these teams who are like into doing this need to put all the pressure on the Big Ten. That's how you get them to like change their mind a little bit. On top of like, or these players just to be like, dude, I'm gonna be honest. If we don't play, I'm transferring.
Yeah.
Like those, like signing a petition, like you said, is not gonna do shit. But like the other two things, where it's like actually
letters, just
where it's like actually, you think the Big Ten actually gives a shit
gives a fuck
if Justin Fields' dad wrote a letter to you, like it probably goes to an intern then the trash. Like,
it never makes it to the final.
No, he doesn't give a shit.
Letter saying, I want my son to play. Like
Ohio State, the Big Ten needs Ohio State more than Ohio State needs the Big Ten. You know how many conferences would be calling Ohio State in a second saying, hey, we will take you and all the fucking money you bring? The Big Ten will be begging them not to leave. If Ohio State really wants to play, they need to put the pressure on the Big Ten, because that's the only way something's going to happen from this. Right. Because the commissioner, as stupid as he's been, he knows Ohio State. I mean, it's Ohio State or we're screwed.
They already sent all the people home, though, right? All the students, athletes.
Depends on like what your school's doing. So Ohio State's, I'm pretty sure, is open. So like they're there. They just approved a thing like you can practice 12 hours a week. So I don't know if it's like if the students get sent home, you technically have to send your players also home, because if the students get sent home and the players are still on campus, doesn't that just kind of defeat the whole?
Yeah, that whole money grab. So my thing is like, I like this. It's just annoying to even almost talk about, because it's like if anything got reversed, would be a fucking miracle at this point. And it's like all this, like half the shit's probably false reports, and there's probably like if you were able to really do this 6-team season thing, then why would like the other schools would want to do it too? I mean, there's more than just 6 of them probably that would want to do it.
Unless their president's like a for sure, like their schools are for sure no of playing. But I
Yeah.
agree. There's probably like a few more schools that are like, yeah, I would. Why can't we?
So then it's like, so if the 8 teams are going to play, it's like that is the Big Ten, but the Big Ten is just not. So what are they just not going to put the games on TV at that? Like it's just. So if Ohio State and Michigan played, who's gonna tape it? Who's gonna broadcast it? Like
They probably get to fill because if the Big Ten's not putting out a product, they probably get to fill that slot then, and then it's, it goes to
that probably breaches some contracts. Some maybe not that game specifically because it's always on ABC or whatever, Fox or whatever the fuck it's on. But I would just like to see how possible any of it. That was my big question. How possible is it for any team to actually leave with their contract they have with the Big?
Nagy.
Well, I was thinking like a good point to make is like you look at other situations where like players or team protest like a league. I mean, I feel like more times than not, the league will come to some kind of stance where they'll try to negotiate. But like right now, there's like no negotiation that is looking to have happen for any of these Big Ten teams. So I'm definitely down. Like I'm an IU fan, but like Ohio State should definitely get the fuck out of the Big Ten if this is how they're gonna treat the season.
The problem with the negotiations though, it's just like it's just too late. Like they either got to do it now or
they should have voted months ago instead of it's like what 7 weeks before the season was supposed to start, 6 weeks before the season.
No, they voted last week? Big Ten announced their schedule was Labor Day weekend, so that's 4 weeks.
Yeah, 5 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. The problem it all comes down to the like the liability of it all. Because I mean, let's be honest, the schools don't give a flying fuck. Like the school president, if he was completely unliable and wouldn't catch any heat for it, he wouldn't give a shit if a player died. Why would he give a fuck?
But won't they be liable having kids on campus too, or not? Like,
yeah, I think that's. But then sending them home immediately was the plan all along. So it like kind of.
Yeah, no, I get the whole thing. Like, if no kids are on campus,
I think that will be the case. I don't think there'll be a single college with kids on campus. Like there'll be outbreaks on every single campus unless they don't party.
So Big Ten told the NCAA not to allow like waivers, like to sign waivers to play that you agree you understand the liability. The Big Ten told them because they knew that like that's also a way to get around it where it's like, okay, players can opt out and you honor their scholarship, which is completely fine. If you want to opt out, you opt out. But if you sign this waiver, I mean, they're not liable if you catch COVID. Then you know what I mean. So like they had supposedly people were just like do that, and then I think some people like were asking for money from the Big Ten Network, and then the Big Ten was just telling the NCAA like probably running the whole idea like if you make them sign a waiver, they're not technically student athletes anymore, like some shit like that, like they're
it opens up too many cans of worms.
So like they told them no, but like that seems like that would be an easy solution, but no one's done it. So there must be some loopholes of like
there's gotta be loopholes within that. Like,
does it take away their amateur status, like all that kind of shit? So like I don't know. It's fucking crazy. I'm fine with whoever plays, but at this point, I just feel like these Ohio State and Nebraska and Iowa, like it seems like Ohio State and Nebraska are the two that like really super want to play. Like they've been openly out talking, saying they want to play. But it's like, I mean, sooner or later you're gonna run out of time. Like,
yeah, I think it's even like I would be mind blown if they get anything going in what is that? How many weeks until the SEC start?
Well, the SEC starts the 3rd week of September, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4. You got like 4 weeks. So they would have to probably do it within the next by a week from Friday. They would have to actually have a plan, or else I think it's completely blown up.
It would just be completely against what the 5 months they had to actually make, and they just like come up with one in a week, which would just be incredible. So
I mean,
I
another
love
thing
I hope
to
the
keep
Big
in
Ten
mind is
that shit's gonna happen.
another thing to keep in mind is like when you think of like the NCAA and like all these colleges, I mean, they're just as much of a business as any other business in the entire country and entire world. So I mean, the Big Ten could have definitely just like saw this as an opportunity to cut scholarships from other fall sport student athletes and make
That
them full tuition and not worry about running in red or running in black with the football not having any fans or anything in the stadium.
that is interesting to think about, like where some schools like, look, we want to cut some sports. I vote no. Like, because I mean, I mean, the whole like spring football is not fucking happening. If it is, it's like a 5 fucking game season, and it's not for anything,
No one's watching that shit.
and no one's watching. You'll sit out, and I mean, half your games are going to be in fucking February and March, which could be absolute blizzards.
No, the starters are going to play spring football either. It's all going
Why
to be.
would you? Why would you? So
Yeah, but the thing is with like, are you saying that's like let's say like a water polo? Let's just say that's a fall sport. If you're saying a water polo is just canceled forever, like they never bring it back.
Just for like the fall, because like if you cancel fall sports, like all the scholarship and shit.
well, no, you still have to pay the scholarship.
Yeah, they honor those. That's
They
what
honored it? Okay.
You have to.
Yeah,
But
I don't
but-
really
I
think
no,
think I misspoke that. I just meant you don't have to pay the price of like supporting the programs for the fall. I didn't mean scholarship as
well,
well.
Stanford already stopped 11 sports,
yeah, I
like
saw that.
for good. So
I mean, with like the revenue the schools receive from just football as a whole and the Big Ten Network like TV deal and shit is and like any like out or not like Notre Dame, Wisconsin. I don't know if they exchange money there, but just like a lesser Big Ten team playing like I don't know if they have like a good outside conference schedule, but that's how they fund like the majority of their athletic programs anyway. So like from a business standpoint, they're missing out on majority of their money for almost every school. Like there's a few schools that have some huge fucking basketball teams as well, but I mean it's football and basketball. Those are the two money generators.
yeah, with basketball being very slim compared, but
And another thing I saw, so 80% of the NCAA's revenue on a yearly basis is generated through the NCAA tournament.
yeah, I believe that for sure because
That is nuts.
so the why
that could play here, like
why it's that is because like the NCAA gets every like ad deal, all that shit during the entire tournament, so it's like crazy. Whereas
and like eyes are glued to the TVs for like 4 weeks period or whatever.
Football, technically, the playoff is like a separate entity.
Yeah.
So like the playoff, that's why the playoffs can still happen is because it's not an NCAA event technically.
Like in Division I basketball, only there's not even like 20 teams whose actual schools like operate in the black for basketball. Like basketball,
there's probably 30 to 40.
Is a tough sport to like gain a profit through the season, mostly because the tournament is they don't really see any of that revenue.
I would say 30 to 40.
I'll look it up. When I was at IU, like we talked about all the time, how it was only like 17 or 18 teams that were operating in the black.
I mean, that's still a crazy stat, even if it's an extra 10, though. Like that's like 99.
It's under 50, that's for sure. And there's like
that's still a small percentage of D1.
Yeah, there's like 350 basketball Division I teams. So, yeah, I believe that about the college basketball tournament. That's why I think they're trying to push hard to like get like these bubbles and shit. But it's like, I don't know how logical that is. Like, what are these kids just not going to go to class and all be in a city and be?
I would be surprised if this is still a major thing in this country after the election. If I'm being honest, I think somehow, some way, this will like once the election's over, this will be they'll have like a vaccine from out of nowhere or some shit where this shit will be
I agree with that.
a lot faster than we think once the election's over.
I agree with that. So Nagy, as you look up, let's transition to the NBA playoffs started. The bubble is working. Yesterday Monday night you had the Nuggets beat the Jazz, Raptors beats the Nets, Celtics beat the Sixers, Clippers beat the Mavs. Yesterday you had the 2 8 seeds lose. Rockets killed the Thunder, and the Heat beat the Pacers. I don't know if you guys watched much of it, but the first day, my thoughts were the Raptors look good. They're probably the most well-coached team in basketball. It's pretty crazy. Nick Nurse is an amazing coach. The Heat are very good too, I think. I don't know if you guys saw Kristaps Porzingis get ejected, but it was probably the softest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Like, that's just – like, the ref said after, he's like, we don't know who has technical fouls. Well, who the fuck else does? You guys are the ones who give them. How do you not know? It's not like you give 100 technicals a game. You give probably 3 max, like, unless a fight happens. So how the hell do you know? Like, and it was so soft. Like, he just walked in front of Luka. He didn't even shove the dude. And it changed the game completely, which sucks for the Mavericks, but
Yeah, that was complete bullshit.
so soft. And then you go to day 2, you start the day off, and the fucking Bucks lose to the Magic. The Bucks have not looked good in the bubble, and
Yeah, I was surprised that both 1 seeds lost. That was crazy. But I didn't really watch that much of them.
yeah, the Bucks. It just seems like if Giannis isn't, he still had a great game. I'm not saying that, but just seems like if he's not like flowing and like on the run, doing his Euro step, kicking it out for threes, they're actually like having to work for buckets. Like their whole offense is just completely out of rhythm, which is like wild to think about. But
Yeah, do you predict any further trouble for the either 1 seeds really?
I think the Bucks, no. I think the Magic are just so bad that there's just like really no way that the Bucks. The Magic might win 1 game, but I think the Bucks win like 4-2, 4-1 maybe. But the Lakers, man. I mean, you're talking like the Trailblazers, if fully healthy, are probably like a 5 or 6 seed, and
Yeah, I was gonna say they're not a true. This is probably got to be one of the best 8 seeds in a long time.
probably ever, honestly. Because the thing is like they match up super well with the Rockets, is who they would probably play next. Like they could easily be in the Western Conference Finals. Like if they could beat the Lakers, but like then again, like the Lakers shot 15% from 3, missed 11 free throws. Held the
Yeah, I mean that was just what they shoot from the field. Like, wasn't it just a
like
business?
33% from the field, 15 from 3, 11 missed free throws. Held the Blazers to 100 and still had the lead with 3.5 minutes left and had a chance to win that ball game. So like,
I read though that the Blazers didn't play incredibly good either though, or did they shoot
they
pretty well?
didn't shoot as well as they have been. But like, so here's my thing to that: the Blazers did not. The Lakers have shown they can score 120. The Lakers have kept a lot. Like they have the best. They had the 1 or 2 best defensive efficiency in the regular season. So like they've been doing this all year. So I think the Lakers have a better chance of shooting better than I do the Blazers scoring like 120 like they're
Yeah,
used
to keep that up. Which one's
Yeah.
gonna give first? That's what I would hope anyway would happen.
So,
Yeah.
but I gotta say this too. Fucking LeBron. He keeps fucking saying, it's just weird, man. We're in this bubble and there's no fans and I thrive off the fans. LeBron, every fucking player is in the bubble. Every single player. You're not the only one playing in the bubble. Everyone is playing in the bubble.
It reminds me of just classic, just setting the stage in case shit goes crazy.
That's what Skip Bayless said. He's like, it just sounds like he's like making everything. So like if somehow they do lose, He has every excuse lined up for him.
If that,
Maggie, have you been watching?
Yeah, I've been watching a little bit. I definitely was interested in watching the Trailblazers Lakers game just because of all the hype around Dame right now. And I actually had a conversation today. Some of my friends trying to make an argument about how Dame is better than Steph Curry, and I just thought it was
pretty good argument.
I thought it was okay. I think a healthy Steph is.
You know that Dame Lillard going into the playoffs this year is the third worst efficiency playoff player to appear in more than 25 games the past 20 years. He's been horrible in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I said I think a healthy Steph is definitely a little better still for sure. But Dame is definitely putting himself in the conversation for at least top 3 in the league.
Yeah, Dame's solid, man. I like watching Dame play. He's got some attitude about him. But
yeah.
Steph is just next level, though.
Yeah, I agree.
When Steph should have won 2 titles without KD and all of them, and he was clearly the best player on that team.
Yeah. He ran into I guess not. I mean, it was to beat him in an MVP voting, you have to average a triple double, right? Wasn't that that stopped his MVP thing? Or
yep. James Harden had that absolutely insane year, 36 points.
Unbelievable years to dethrone him from a 4-peat on that too.
Yep. Also, Sixers Celtics series, Brett Brown might be the worst fucking coach in basketball. He is just so bad. Makes 0 adjustments. They just get blown out. Al Horford's making fucking $27 million. He scored 3 points. I mean, it is absurd how bad Al Horford fucking is, and he signed that huge contract. But I think this might put to rest the whole who do the Sixers keep, Embiid or Simmons? They've looked absolutely horrible without Simmons. Absolutely horrible. Celtics have looked good though too. Celtics have some solid fucking guards.
Yeah, I was surprised to see that go the way it's been going. As far as not really being
a series
as close as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah,
I
agree.
That one being one of the better matchups, along with the Pacers and the Heat. But
I actually did too.
Yeah, it turns out the fucking Bucks Magic might be the best matchup for.
The Heat Pacers could still be good too.
Yeah. I think that one would be.
I think that's super balanced.
I was shocked to see the Rockets kill the Thunder. I'm going to be honest. Without Westbrook, if Westbrook would have played, if he would have played, I would have if they would have blown him out and he would have played, I would have understood it a little more because the Rockets don't really have a guy going straight to the rim and aggressive. James Harden can get to the rim at any fucking point of the game. But Westbrook puts pressure on everyone's defense, but they were just in complete control the entire night.
Yeah, they were. So is he out the whole?
I don't know.
Series?
I don't think he is.
If they play that, you might as well finish your rest.
Another series, Alina, though, that could be good. The Jazz Nuggets, they're 1-1 right now, and
yeah, that one. So
a great game 1, and then game 2, the Jazz just completely controlled.
Oh yeah, I was thinking on the Raptors, where they just been kicking ass, so I didn't really do much.
Yeah, they almost lost today, but they still won. They're up 2-0. That probably would. Joe Harris left the bubble. If Joe Harris isn't playing for the Nets, there's no way they have a chance to even win a game.
I was thinking the Nets might make some noise, but
a lot of people did after watching them play in the bubble. But then it was interesting to look at obviously for the Lakers to the whole point too of I wasn't that shocked when the Blazers won game 1 though either. It's because the Blazers came down to the bubble having basically to play. They were playing a playoff game every night.
They started in the play. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
The Lakers have
not. And the Lakers haven't looked that good. / they've been just kind of coasting. They've played their players once every 3 games. So I think that definitely has an effect because Michael Porter Jr. he was killing in the bubble, and then his first game and second game he was like okay. And someone asked him a question like, "What's the difference?" And he was just like, "I'm gonna be honest. The defense is like way harder to go against right now." So it's like that's the thing of like that like they're actually playing some playoff intensity defense, and they weren't in the bubble.
And that makes complete sense with like how the Blazers would be a little bit more prepared for that probably. Because, well, I guess they were playing the same teams, but like their games were like they were in that mode, and where the Lakers were not at all. And probably when like the Lakers went, what were they like 4-6 in the last 10 or like how many games they win in the bubble? Like
8. I think they went 3-5.
3-5. So it's like they weren't going that hard, which
after they beat the Clippers in game 1, they basically locked up the 1 seed. So they had literally nothing to play for.
They had first place by like 6.5 games or something in the bubble.
Yeah. See, what would have been interesting though is if Dallas takes that game 1, which still not saying they would have, but
it would have had a way better chance.
It would have been.
But look, what's crazy is like, and what's going to be interesting to see how the Lakers do. What's crazy is though is like when these teams steal one and put pressure on the other team, you don't have like a home court to fall back to. Like
that's always been so big in the swing of series too. Like when it goes up 2-0, it's like all right, we're going back home. Like the crowd's going to for this game. Like we got to win this one.
Exactly. So, like, the Lakers, I mean, they'd be like, all right, we're at home at the Staples. We got to win our next game. We steal one on the road. We're back to 2-2, and then we have home court advantage the rest of the series. Like,
what I was looking forward to, like, pre-COVID was a Clippers-Lakers Western Conference Finals.
The Staples.
That would be so fun. How do they do that? Like,
so they had their own separate locker rooms, like, every day. Like, there's a Clippers locker room and there's a Lakers locker room.
Yeah.
I think they also like sit. No, they sit on the same side. So like you'd have to just switch where you sit though.
And then as far as the fans go, like do they sell tickets any differently as far as like obviously?
Well, I was gonna say I think it's just all the Clippers season ticket holders.
But so then at that point it's like whichever Lakers fandom is like a little bit more like well off.
Oh, every time they play at Staples Center, like this past year they played at Staples Center and it was the Clippers home game. Every time they were like it was like 75% Laker fans.
Fuck.
So it would have still been a home game. You're just warming up, but like it's also like there's places to park your car type of thing, and like home team obviously gets their place, you know.
Oh right.
So like that would be like another.
So weird to deal with.
All right, let's go through. Nagy, who do you think? Give us 2 upsets, if you have any.
Just for the first round?
First round.
I mean, definitely the Blazers. I mean, I think –
you think they're going to win the series?
I think they're definitely like – I mean, picking an upset, I mean, that's definitely more of an upset than like trying to pick a 5 over a 4 seed. But like a true upset would definitely be the Blazers, Lakers. I think they just look good. I mean, the Blazers are have been in every single game, or at least every single game except for one the past 5 or 6 games they've played. And I just think they have a lot of momentum behind them. And the Lakers definitely don't look like they have any momentum going for them right now. Lakers definitely have a better roster, but momentum in basketball is super important, not just in game, but in a series. So I would say that. I don't know. I haven't really been able to see many of the other 3-6, 4-5 matchups. I did watch the Heat Pacers game.
Yeah.
And I do like the Pacers, but
you think the Pacers are going to win that?
No, I think the Heat are going to win that.
Heat are the 5, so I mean.
Yeah, so I guess for a 4-5, that's what I meant. I like, but they're kind of the team I kind of follow. But I think the Heat will win that and win a 4-5 matchup series.
Celina?
To actually win the series, that's so tough. Yeah, I guess I mean, maybe the Jazz. I guess it seems
That's
like
who I'm thinking.
not even really that big of an upset, really, in my
It
opinion.
doesn't seem like it is, but I mean, if we're thinking of it, it's not like a huge upset, but like
Yeah.
if we're thinking of it, if it wasn't in a bubble, like that's a decent size upset.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the 3 through 7 seed in the
In
West
the
is
way, yeah,
3 games.
yeah,
So
that's true. That's true. But they like the Jazz won today. They get Mike Conley back for Game 3.
Greg
So
Oden.
like, yeah, Greg Oden, but they get Mike Conley back for Game 3. That's who I was thinking. I honestly was thinking that the Jazz will beat the. But then again, though, it's like you said, like the bubble could have went any different ways, and you could have had the Mavericks as a 3 seed and the Rockets as a 7 seed. Like it could have went so many different
Yeah.
ways.
I was gonna say, imagine Rockets Clippers, like, or even
Yeah,
I guess Rockets Clippers would have been the crazy one. And my super dark horse though is the Mavs though.
dude. If they win tonight, that puts so much pressure on the Clippers.
Yeah, because they got the like the stars to do it.
Mm-hmm.
It would be, I would say, surprising to see Luka like carry a team through a team like through a Kawhi Leonard who's doing the same shit. Like you just
Luka's gonna get so beaten up. Like it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, it's gonna take tolls on him where Kawhi's been through that shit. So still wouldn't put money on it, but that would be my super dark horse that I think has the best shot. I think they have the Mavs have a better shot than the Blazers do.
I agree with that because I think if the problem is if the Lakers start hitting shots, the Portland Trailblazers literally have to score 130 points.
Yeah, I mean, if Dame has an off game, they're not winning. It's kind of like
and
how
he's played well for 10 straight games. Like sooner or later, players just have a bad game.
yeah.
Maybe he doesn't, but like sooner or later, he probably will. And like you said, though, he's been scoring 60, and they win by like 2 fucking points.
Yeah, I was like what did he drop, like 40 something?
Yeah, he had 38 last night.
But I mean, yeah, he's been dropping like 45, 50, 60, and they're winning like not crazy.
The games he's
I know they
scoring
just
50,
game one,
60 points, and they're only scoring like in the low 100 teens, or they might break 120. So it's not like a huge amount of support outside.
Yeah.
And if you look at the Blazers like stats breakdown for that game, like it's McCollum and McCollum and Leonard, and it's like the rest of it's like, wait, the rest of those point totals add up to 50 because they scored 100 and those two had like 55. So it's like 45. You can't even like find it. Like it doesn't seem like it adds up.
They, I think actually under a thing that's not talked about though is like the Lakers are getting Rondo back, and with how out of rhythm the Lakers have been on offense, I actually think Rondo, a true point guard, can do a lot to put him back into rhythm and get going. Like I think he will actually help him out a lot.
And if LeBron if he had LeBron's stat line was just ridiculous. 17, 16, and 23.
And he didn't even really he did, but he didn't even really play that well. Like you were watching the game and you were still like, LeBron, you could have done so much more. And he had a triple double. Like
that's like a triple double, like where it looks like you're trying your ass off to get the assist.
Yeah.
Like,
but the thing is he could have had 30 assists if they would have just hit open shots.
Yeah.
Like
I was gonna say, like his assists were ridiculous, and they had the worst shooting performance.
Yeah, right. AD also played horrible. He had so many free throws, so he scored a bunch, but like he was like 8 of 25 from the field. Ridiculous. Like that probably won't happen again.
What's his name had 1 point? KC.
I think it'll be an interesting series though, because I think like Dame will put so much pressure that like the Lakers are gonna have to play well.
Yeah,
they definitely have to like step up how they played. If they play like how they did last game.
Huge slap in the face, like, oh fuck, this is not the first round that we're accustomed
100%.
to. They knew that. They definitely knew that, but
the Lakers are also they have so many veterans. Like Danny Green has 2 titles. KCP's been in the league for 8 years. Dwight has been in the league for 12 years. Like all these team players have been in the league, so it's like I don't think they're like game one. Like everyone's freaking out. What's wild though is like it's funny because like LeBron loses game 1 to a Trailblazers team that everyone is saying is good. Giannis and the Bucks lose game 1, and no one says a single word. Which we know that the Giannis and the Bucks are probably going to win, but it's also
Yeah.
like they still lost game one to an
Yeah.
AC.
I mean,
probably the worst team that made it out of the regular season bubble.
Yeah, 100%, easily the worst team.
yeah. I think the Lakers. So the Bucks obviously lose first in that day, and then the Lakers do it at night. So that stole the headline, and
Yeah,
for whatever reason, and it's just like everyone's like, the Bucks will just probably win 4-1 or whatever.
yeah.
Like it's just, I guess probably just bigger stories with Dame. Like the Magic literally have no one you can really like be like, oh, I mean they probably do.
I think a lot of people know though that like the Trailblazers are not a normal 8 seed. So they could have an actual shot. Like,
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, it'd be interesting to go because I know there's been has it happened once or twice with the 8 seed beat the 1 seed or something?
it's I don't know exactly how many times. I know the Golden State Warriors did it when Baron Davis was their point guard. They had AK-47. They were Steven Jackson. They were so fun to watch. They beat either the Mavs or the Utah Jazz as a 1 seed. Other than that, I can't remember the last time an 8 seed actually won. I think if you go the moment that they switched to 7-game series, it's only happened twice ever.
Yeah, 8 seeds to beat 1.
But as you look that up, let's go to our last segment.
Golden State beat the Mavs. You're right.
Yeah, Nagy, you're a baseball guy. What did you think about Fernando Tatis swinging on 3-0 and the Rangers bitching?
Yeah, bro. The Rangers just sound like a sad franchise that can't take defeat. I mean, they're an average team this year. I kind of did talk about the Rangers being kind of a dark horse wild card team before the season started, just because they got some of their younger guys out of development and trying out. I thought they might have had a little spurt. But to have one of your coaches after a game say that you hitting a home run, a grand slam off us on a 3-0 when you're already winning, that hurt our feelings. That shit is so weak, and I think it hurts baseball a ton.
I think it does too, but it's also then the next day people came up and in the past 2 years 5 teams have come back 7-0.
What's that?
It's 5 teams have come back down 7 runs or
right. And baseball is you can put up crooked numbers 9, 10, 11 runs in a single inning. It's happened plenty of times. Even first inning when you're going right against a starter, which is supposed to be the hardest time through the order.
Yeah.
People put up 10 runs in the very first inning. It's
also though. I mean, what are we fucking handing out participation awards? If a guy wants to fucking swing at 3-0 pitch, he can do whatever the fuck he wants. Also, don't throw a fucking awful pitch on 3-0 then. There's a reason why. Because you know what? Most of the times that someone throws a strike and you see a guy swing at 3-0 and they get out, you're like, why the fuck would you swing at 3-0? This guy threw such a bad pitch that he hit a home run on 3-0.
Yeah, I mean 3-0 is going to be the most meatball pitch you're ever going to see at the plate when you're in the bigs, because most of the time they're just assuming you're going to lay off it. And that's why some pitchers on 3-0 will still throw curveballs or changeup strikes just because they like that pitch, but they don't want to just throw a fastball. So it's also a mistake on the pitcher's behalf. It's still your responsibility not to throw it right down the fucking middle, even though it's a 3-0 pitch.
Olena, what do you think about all this hoopla?
Yeah, it's just one of those rules that are unwritten that you kind of got to follow if you're in the MLB, I think.
Dude, shut the fuck up.
No. I honestly want to have a discussion with somebody that truly stands on that hill that's a bad play out of whatever the fuck.
I know. Yeah.
I've not seen it yet. I just want to see what are you fucking saying? There's so many things wrong with it. One, you allowed the bases to be fucking loaded, not them. You then allowed the pitch count to get to 3-0. These are all your doings. And then you don't want him to swing at a pitch? What is this, a Catholic fucking baseball league where you got to fuck me. I cannot believe that's even a thing. How is this a thing?
Dude.
In the MLB, it's the most popular it's ever been. Probably in the past 20 years was in like 99, 2000, 2001, 2003, like when everyone was bombing home runs.
Yep.
And we're getting mad that a guy is just on pace to like break some like full season records type shit, or like
Hitting
in a
the shit out.
in a shortened season. We're mad that he's extending an already blowout game like it fucking matters. Like, suck a dick if you actually do that. I honestly, I don't think there's many people that really truly believe that. I think it's like
You can't actually.
You have to be over like the age of like 70.
you
Honestly.
cannot be a competitor. Like, I don't give a fuck what sport it is. I don't care what sport it is. You can be up 50-0 in the NCAA, and you can knee it out if you want. I feel like people do that more for like an injury risk thing. Like, they don't give a fuck about running up the score.
Definitely.
Like,
Well,
that's
okay.
not
It's also like, let's say you're up 50-0 with 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. You're gonna run the ball, yes.
you're running the ball, and
Second of all,
your second string guys are in. Like, they
you
want to go hard to
yes.
like show that they can do it. Like,
But also, if you tell your player, that's like telling your player, hey, you get to the 3-yard line, take a knee. That's worse.
Hey, second string guy who's been working his ass off to get noticed. Don't go hard in the final game just because the team we're playing couldn't show up for the first 3.5 quarters. So take it.
But
off.
also, it's like, okay, Tatis is a great player. He wants to probably break records. He wants to be the best player to ever play. Like, that's his mindset. I've listened to you talk. Sounds like a badass. He seems like a good person for baseball to have because he's like electric, talks. Let's say he takes that pitch. It's 3-1. He doesn't like the next pitch. It's a full count. He strikes out, and his batting averages go down. He has another it's like, why should he have to risk?
No. Right? Is this his contract year or no?
No, he's
23, so he still has
super young. I think he's like his second.
I thought so. I was just like yeah, like what the fuck?
But I mean, even if it's not, why should he have to risk like getting it? Like, look, he had to have thought, this is my favorite pitch of the day today. I'm gonna go yard. He's gonna take that and then swing at another pitch.
Correct me if I'm wrong. When players normally take 3-0 pitches, it's more to like just get the pitch count up. I mean, like
yeah, I mean that, or like they have to absolutely love the pitch. Is what
either love it, like you're sitting dead red on a fastball, like wherever you like it. So that's why they're taking it. And you threw it where he fucking liked it.
And I had a huge problem with his fucking coach not having his back.
Oh, I think that is the worst fucking part. And like, dude, are you fucking joking? Like, you're a manager of the fucking team. Like, what does that say to your dugout? Like, hey, man,
right.
How many runs were they up right there? Was it
7-0? It was 7-0.
7-0. So, hey, whenever we're up 7-0, we no longer try. Like, that's what you're saying to your dugout. Like, what is that?
If you steal a base when we're up 7-0, I'm going to rip on you in the post game.
Dude, what the fuck? Like, show you, like, what the fuck? Like, what's the point of working as hard as you do to then let off the gas because the other, like, you're doing so well against this other team? Like,
you're going to hurt some fucking feelings. Like, you're in the MLB. You get paid to play. You get paid to fucking play.
These guys are getting paid millions of dollars. This is not Catholic fucking little league where you gotta make sure Timmy's mom isn't getting pissed off that you
that's
10 runs in 1 inning.
That's so funny because that was the name that I thought of too. I was gonna say Little Timmy scores a touchdown.
I'm getting mad that you guys fucking dropped 8 on him in like 2 seconds. Like, holy shit! That pitcher gets paid millions of dollars. I just want to know who disagrees with this side.
You disagree, and you think if you're in the MLB, you should take on 3-0 if you're up a certain amount of runs because it's an unwritten rule.
Who the fuck even heard about running up the score? And you can't do that. That's not even.
Please comment or message or get a hold of us. We will bring you on our next discussion because we want to have a discussion with you. Hopefully nobody fucking thinks this way. Because there's a reason why it's an unwritten rule because it fucking sucks. That's why.
Like, do you think there's ever a point where that would even be a thing? Like, how much – I'm being honest. Like,
it would have to be, like, legit, like, 20 runs up.
I still don't even think I would get mad.
Even then, like, I'm if I'm setting up my guys, like, they're not getting better if they're taking.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Yes.
it's maybe 20-0, and they somehow like they got like some guys from COVID, like so they have like outfielders pitching. Like maybe let's just fucking call it a day.
Right.
Okay, if that happened, maybe.
But
Yeah.
if
You
you
had, like,
have a major league pitcher who is that's all he fucking does, and he cannot retire these guys, then dude, expose him. He doesn't fucking belong.
Right. Maybe if you're up 20, the only thing I would say is maybe you don't like have your player steal just like for injury purposes, or
Yeah.
like if it's like a gap shot and your guy on first base is
you
running
don't
the base.
send them. Yeah.
Like
I could see not stealing. Yeah,
I can see that because you have way more injury factor and all that. So I agree with that. But like hitting, like if so let's say I get put in and we're up 20-0. This is my second at bat of my career. If I can hit a home run, I'm hitting my fucking home run.
Batting at the plate is way less injury prone.
Right.
If it's a fucking new guy, oh fuck that. I don't give a fuck. I'm up 45-0. I am
Exactly.
Get your cuts, bro. Get better.
All right. Well, that wraps it up tonight. Appreciate everyone tuning in. We almost had a new sponsor tonight. Fucker blocked us. But
Fuckers blocked us. We'll get next time.
we'll see you on the Power Hour Friday. Peace.
Peace.